The Supreme Court has issued a notice to Centre and the Delhi government in a suo motu proceeding that was initiated by the Supreme Court itself to stop the involvement of children and infants in agitations and demonstrations, and this respectively was in wake of a death of an infant on 30th Jan at Shaheen Bagh. Let's go across to our legal editor Harish Nair joining us live on the broadcast. Harish, well, strong observations there by the top court. Give us more details.
Yes, it is a very stormy hearing because today the Supreme Court has issued notice to Centre and Delhi government on the question of whether minor children can be involved in protest and and isn't it a violation of child rights. Remember, this issue was brought to the attention of the court by a class 7 student of Bombay Don Bosco who had won a National Bravery Award this year. She brought to the attention of the court the death of a 4-month-old infant out of cold and chest congestion during the protests of Shaheen Bagh. Today the Supreme Court but there was a very serious observations from Chief Justice S.A. Bobde when another lawyer from the opposite firm who was representing the protesters, she said that she also wanted to keep before the Supreme Court a different view that children who were part of protests were being called Pakistanis and terrorists and wanted Supreme Court to interfere. But Supreme Court Chief Justice S.A. Bobde very categorically said that they should not use the Supreme Court as a forum to push their agenda. He is not on CAA, he is not on NRC, only on child rights. The question is whether minor children can be part of protests or demonstrations. So in this view, the Supreme Court has issued notice to the Delhi government and Centre seeking the stand on whether there should be very strict guidelines on banning children being involved in protests and demonstrations. So the matter will be taken up after 4 weeks, and when the Supreme Court will hear extensive deliberations from the Centre, from the Delhi government, and also from the Delhi police.
Stay on with us.